Alright guys, we're going to look at the adductor biased pin loaded leg press. Now, unlike what was you traditionally thought to be the glute biased leg press with this high and wide setup, actually the high and wide setup is very useful, but it's very useful for targeting the inner thighs, those adductors. So before we start, we've obviously made sure that Mal's really comfortable with the seat. She's happy with the setup. She's put herself in a position where either she's happy being right back in the seat or she's forward and a little bit more hip flexion. For lining up the adductors, it's more than happy for her to be able to just sit back here. Next thing is she's going to make the feet go a little bit wider than the hips, and what that's going to allow her to do is in terms of where the force is going to line up, it's going to line up with those inner thighs, the muscles on those inner thighs. From there, she's going to test what her active range of hip flexion is. So she pulls the knee back, and for this particular, what we call degree of abduction, you can see because her hips or her knees are kind of out wider than in the other two positions, we just have to make sure that hip flexion is relevant to this particular position. So you can see that's about where she's going to get to here.
That's the depth.
That's the depth we're going to reach, exactly. So from there, she's then going to pull herself down into that active range. She's then set up, she's right, good. That's a comfortable position for her to work really well out of without exceeding that active range and passing off to all of those other tissues and passive structures. From there, hands are going to be on the handle, pulling herself down hard into the seat, maximizing that bracing potential. And then from there, she's almost thinking about pressing this away from her rather than her away from the foot plate. Next thing she's then thinking about as well is contracting those inner thighs as much as she can, and then just really keeping tension in those target tissues. Now, it's worth noting that it's not that you're not going to feel any quads during this movement, it's just that we're putting a little bit more bias into those inner thighs as well as a little bit of contribution from the quads.